DLC Pack 2 of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is out and about, and it added a lot of crazy stuff. Clothes, story, dungeons, and even a goddamn motorcycle. But I've been hearing a common thought among the Zelda legions about how this pack wasn't really what people were expecting. But what do I think? Well, here's my review. Hey guys, HMK here with the review for the Champions Ballad. Now to be clear, I'll be handling this review as a standalone DLC pack, so I'll be focused on the specific contents of DLC Pack 2, and not how it interacts with DLC Pack 1 or the expansion pass, which the latter I will save for the end. DLC Pack 2 is pretty stuffed to the brim with cool new content, which includes a new story quest, which is about 5 or more hours of gameplay, and which really depends on your given skill level, as the Champions Ballad does test you with the challenge of the one-hit obliterator, 16 new shrines, which are some of the most intense and interesting of what the game has to offer, as well as entrance puzzles for each shrine, some of which offer new gameplay ideas, and rematches against the Blight Ganons with very specific equipment. Not only that, you get some cool new gear in the form of Phantom Ganon's armor, Xant's helmet, and the Royal Guard clothes, to name a couple. And all of this is rounded up nicely with an additional dungeon and honestly the best boss fight in the whole game. Nintendo knew they weren't gonna fuck this one up. Yeah, so that sounds like a lot, right? Funny, there are a bunch of people that say that it wasn't. Hilarious. The story of the Champions Ballad is exactly that, a story about the champions, in where you learn their history with Zelda and Link, and this story is told through cutscenes, diary entries, and interactions with the deceased champions themselves. The story adds a huge amount of context and insight to all the champions, including Link and Zelda and their feelings and relationships to each other, as well as what those they left behind think of them. It really enriches the story, and by the end you'll have a swell of emotions due to the better understanding of these characters and what they went through. The shrines are pretty amazing in this offering and are already some of my new favorites, and depending on your armor and their upgrades, it gives use to some of the lesser known sets to a great degree. If only that type of gameplay was offered more in the main game. The extra dungeon offered is pretty intuitive and falls in line with the interesting mechanics established by the Divine Beasts. And the boss fight. Man, that boss fight, y'all, it's killer. Along with the music, health amount, and various different attacks and interactions it has, it's a worthy final boss in the game, unlike Calamity and Dark Beast Ganon. Now onto the price for clearing all those challenges. Link's very own Divine Beast, the Master Cycle Zero. This thing is amazing.
May you be victorious. Quickly now. Ganon's power is weakening.
But I did experience some weird freezes with it. Come on, Nintendo. The only real problem that I had with the DLC is that once again the armor isn't upgradable, as some of these pieces are really cool. Like, I don't blame Xant's helmet for not being upgradable because it's the freezing equivalent of the Thunder Helm, but geez. But I've been hearing some of you guys loud and clear, and that apparently some of you guys were disappointed and keep poking me to see if I was disappointed. The thing is, I wasn't disappointed at all, and I was very pleased with the Champions Ballad. First off, I know it's a huge chunk of the overall disappointment from fans apparently came from the thought that we were promised something post-game, but let me be clear, that was never confirmed. That was this interview from France that ran wild, but like many have noticed, it was a translation error. Never once did I expect this DLC to truly be post-game as it focused on the champions. So I guess I already girded myself for the inevitable disappointment, but not really, as we were promised everything in the original DLC listing. A new story, the Champions Ballad, check. A new dungeon, the Underground Trial, check. The additional challenges, the challenges of the one-hit obliterator, the new shrines, their interest challenges, check, check, and check. And we got all of that and more. I mean, look at this bike! So with that being said, the Champions Ballad was a worthy addition to Breath of the Wild that you will thoroughly enjoy. The story offers was deep, the shrines and dungeons were challenging, and the boss battle and rewards were extremely satisfying. So I give the Champions Ballad a 9 out of 10. And when combining the Master Trials with the Champions Ballad, it is very much worth the price of $20 for the pair in the expansion pass. As a whole, I do recommend the pass and do not regret my purchase one bit. So guys, thank you for watching the review and I hope you enjoyed it. Please be sure to like, favorite, share, subscribe, and sponsor if you like. Here are the sponsors for the first month of having my sponsorship button. Thank you guys so much for the extra support. So guys, until the next video, I've been HMK, more Zelda content on the way, and I will check you guys later.